Hi, I'm gonna talk about vintage cameras. So, for the past few weeks, I've been doing street photography with older cameras. Digicams, film cameras, vintage lenses. There is something of a joy in using older equipment. I have modern cameras that I use for work, my Sonys specifically, for weddings and birthdays and whatnot. But some cameras I don't get to make money from. Some cameras I just use for fun. Sometimes with friends.
We have to come correct, come on.
Come on, bro. And sometimes by myself. I'll just spend a day taking out an old camera and do some street photography. The first camera is the Olympus Mju 300. A relative of mine works at Salvo's and got me one for like 20 bucks. So I just went out testing. Met up with my friend Chris here.
That's right. There's a tree that goes about halfway through the building, through walkways and everything. It's just 50 metres that way.
Oh, true, okay.
So, have a look.
Alright, sweet. Can we look?
Yeah, hi. Some geese, bro.
You look like tourists.
Oh, dang. Alright, bro, thanks, man. Thank you. Alright. Bro, I was looking at you. Christopher? Christopher, tell him no. After that little detour, we got started. And there's something nice about it, almost film-like. Something nostalgic about it, in good lighting conditions though. That's true, my bad. You're walking pretty fast.
Yeah, I know, it's getting...
And it's not the cleanest indoors. But even then, I think sometimes I'd prefer to get these type of shots.
You gave it to me.
This lift is a bit,
No, you should have You were lying. We're not even half that, you're already struggling.
Not long after, I swapped it out for a film camera using a Kodak Retina 3C. And I don't know how everyone else does it, man, but I have to use an app on my phone as a light meter. I haven't quite mastered the exposure just yet. Shooting with a Portra 800 film. Part of the joy of shooting on film is that everything is manual. Manual focus, you gotta set your own exposure. Yeah, it can be challenging, but it's part of the fun. Because you have to think about it. This specific camera is from the 50s, right? And this was what people had to use. Nothing was automated for you. So just the idea of that fills me with joy. In a day and age where pretty much anyone can pick up a camera now and get really crazy photos, to go back in history and try to achieve it the same way they did is part of the fun, because it's not always going to be perfect. I'm not a most days guy. I ended up going for some Hokas. Been eyeing a pair for a while. How was that? And I don't know about you guys, man, but I have this really bad habit of wanting to put them on ASAP. Does anyone else have this? and I love them. Something different for me. And on another day, I went to a wheelchair basketball game and I took the Olympus out again. The only thing about this Olympus is there's no manual setting. So again, indoors you get what you get. But the cool thing is you get something vintage. It's weather sealed as well, so which is surprising for a 2003 camera, I think. But you really get the early 2000s experience with it. And then next up is my Olympus Pen D3. It's a half-frame film camera. If you don't know, a half-frame camera is basically you can take 2 exposures per frame in a film roll. So instead of getting 36 photos, you'll get double that, 72. With a little bit of a sacrifice in the resolution. This camera, I got it off eBay a couple of years back, and I've always struggled with it, especially with the focusing, because it's a zone focus camera. So when you look through the viewfinder, it doesn't show you what's in focus. You have to use the numbers on the side of the lens to figure out whether that's 3 meters away, 5 meters away, etc.
Who's gonna save you? Who's gonna make you?
Meeting up with a friend. This is Frankie, someone I've known for maybe almost 10 years now. We used to work at a club together. I convinced her on the day to do some street photography with me. I handed her the Olympus while I shot on film. That's her being stuck, being preached to. And we went for a walk in Parramatta.
Your cloudy song on a rerun. Are you hound dog tired singing all night long?
And she picked it up really well. Like this is her. For someone that's never done it before, I was really surprised.
Who's gonna make you?
Modeled for her a little bit, just for her to have some fun. And we came across this spot. I don't even know what it is. I don't know if this is like sewer or a river. But the sun was hitting nice there. I thought it would be a good spot to test out the vintage lenses. This is the Helios 44-2, which is, there's a few YouTube videos about it now, but it's a vintage Russian lens that Hollywood's been using. You just get a unique vibe when you're using a vintage lens on a modern camera. The sharpness is gone, but you get this really, I don't know, like smooth, milky look to it. And I think it gives a unique vibe when you use a vintage lens on a modern camera. These are shots where I'm using vintage lenses for my next video. And I'm super happy with it. And then I met this guy for the first time. He's a photographer, lives locally now, so we've been messaging here and there and finally caught up to do some street photography.
Yeah, and then
he's rocking the Sony A7R5 with a 135mm G Master, and it's a different beast for street photography. So I thought it'd be interesting to just mix and match our shots here, just to see what the difference is between shooting on a half-frame film and a beast like the A7R5.
Who's gonna save you? Who's gonna make you not lose?
Yeah, and you gotta know what you're looking at, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's a sense of limitation when you're using vintage cameras, right? Like retro cameras even. But I think the limitation is part of why it's so fun. You're forcing yourself to try something different. And I'm heavy on getting equipment that makes things fun for you. Not everything you do needs to have the latest and greatest. Whatever gives you the joy of creating is worth getting. And for me, it's been fun.